Welcome to Inspirations from the Sage, Day 2. This is December 2nd, 2019, and the inspiration from the Sage comes to us from Hexagram 27 and line 5. So in general, Hexagram 27 speaks to nourishment, all kinds of nourishment. In particular, it talks about the nourishment that we take into our bodies as food and nourishment that we take into our psyche. So it's asking you to be aware of those things that you're taking into your psyche, be it friends that you hang around with, videos that you watch, information that you read, television, all the things of information that you take into your psyche. And the sage says that those things that nourish your true self enliven and give you energy, enliven your chi. You feel expanded and alive. In contrast, those things that feed your ego, and this is also, you can relate this to food as well, robs you of your chi. You walk away feeling kind of dragged down. Kind of like how you feel after a party night. I would not know about that. Just kidding. So pay attention to that which you're taking in. Do you feel enlivened after reading, watching, hearing, being around person, place, or thing? Or do you feel rather robbed of your energy? And if you feel robbed, then maybe you could step back and think, what is my ego getting from this person, place, thing, food? Okay. But this hexagram also speaks to, because it has a lot to do with food, and if you look up how the hexagram is built, the hexagrams are built by 6 lines, solid and broken. There is a solid line at the bottom and a solid line at the top, and all of the middle ones are broken, so it represents a mouth. And it talks about how we program food to cause us to rob us of our chi energy. Perhaps someone told you, me, and all of these hexagrams, all of them, the first 2 have been totally appropriate for me. So this could just be a personal journey. I hope you'll get something from it. Perhaps someone has told you you are allergic to gluten, or you have a particular diet, allergy, food sensitivity, or this food is bad for you, that food is bad for you. And all your life, or you keep telling your cells that listen to everything you think, right? That dairy is bad for me, carbs are bad for me, or I can't eat avocados or bananas or strawberries, something. And of course, whenever you eat that food, you feel drained of your life force. So you have slandered the food, and you have slandered your body's ability to take in that food, to get nourishment from it. So it asks you to kind of course, some foods are not as good for you as others, but we don't need to slander that item, as well as slander our body for receiving that item. We can remove those beliefs by saying no, the inner no, to, like, for example, no, no, no. Strawberries aren't bad for me. If you have that belief and you kind of say it to yourself all the time, particularly when you eat that food, your inner body goes, oh, this is bad for me. You've just added to that spell. So look at those things. Okay, I think that's enough on that. I'm going to try to make these really short, but you know me, I keep going on and on. So, in general, the 27th hexagram speaks to nourishment, what we bring into our psyche, and what we take in to our body. And look at any slanders that we've put on food. We can eat most everything in moderation. And look at perhaps the people, the places and things we hang around with. Is it robbing our chi or adding to our chi? And let's read line 5, which could be a specific message for someone out there. Nourishment. Oh, this is what I wanted to bring up. This is highly important. This thing about food. You know, the 27th gene key speaks to the underlying human genetic programming about this nourishment, that we had to be really selfish in the beginning. We have the selfish gene because of food. Food was scarce, and we had to be selfish. And this is all about food, that we get nourishment from food. When in reality, the sage wants you to get nourishment from the cosmos, from chi. We could live off chi, really, we could. And so if you have food allergies, or you get a craving for food and you feel, you know, that empty feeling when you're hungry, or you've got that craving and I know this really well, look into that. It could definitely be actual hunger. The body needs food. But if it's a craving, you can tell the difference. See if you can find that hollow space in your stomach, your body, wherever it's being held. And are you really looking for some deeper nourishment? Can just breathing into that hollowness. What are you missing? Mother's love? And knowing? Is it an insecurity? So that's really the message from the sage, to look at our need for constant nourishment from food items or television or any distraction, and look and see if you're missing nourishment from the cosmos. Okay, now on to line 5. I love this one. It's such a great one. Okay, and I'm just going to read it because I cannot say it better than this book. Line 5, Hexagram 27, line 5. The title is Turning Away from the Path. To be firm and correct brings good fortune. One should not cross the great water. So what does this mean? This line refers to a person who believes it is his or her job to give love and nourishment to others whom he perceives to be in need. In doing so, this person has adopted a grandiose self-image. If he continues acting in this way, he will create a fate. To free himself of that self-image, he first needs to recognize that each person has the ability to call for help for himself. Okay? Wait for an invitation to help. It is the sage that activates people to help through spontaneous acts of kindness. So this refers to this gene key 27, hexagram 27. It talks about selflessness, selfless giving, selfishness, and I urge you to refer back to the video that I did on selfless giving. That it is through our spontaneous acts of kindness that the sage works through us in order to help someone. We don't need to act with forethought, okay? Because that's the ego stepping in with a grandiose self-image. So what does being firm and correct mean? It is counsel not to act while in the presence of another whose ego is demanding attention. So maybe this person is demanding your attention. Oh, I'm feeling needy, I need something, or ego is acting up, and the sage is saying, be polite, say your inner no, and do not react to this person's ego behaviors. Just wait it out. Do not cross the great waters. Be firm and correct. Let's see what else. One should not cross the great water means that the person should wait until the other has returned to modesty. Okay, That is your Inspirations from the Sage for December 2nd, 2019. Be well nourished.